The NCAA, not the NCAA, but the courts and NCAA as well, there's been a new JUCO ruling that came down the other day. Changes the game. Normally, if a player went and had to spend some time in JUCO, those years that you spent in JUCO ate up your eligibility at the NCAA level. Meaning, if you had to go spend a year or 2 years at a JUCO, you don't get to come to college and have 4 years. Guys like Cam Newton and Steve Smith many guys go to JUCO. Many guys go to JUCO. My best friend, he didn't go to JUCO. He went to a military high school, but many guys go to JUCO. You know, Blinn is probably the most popular one that people go to. And up until 2 days ago, when you went to JUCO, now JUCO is in some far out places. Like JUCO, don't think about JUCO being some country club. Okay, you got to have a different dog mentality to go to and survive JUCO. Okay, JUCO is minimum security prison. That's the kind of dude you're dealing with in JUCO. You dealing with some hellified talented dudes who this close from being locked up. I'm telling you. You dealing with some dudes who were this close from being locked up. So go to JUCO at your own risk. What was the Netflix thing? There you go. So I knew you knew it. Today. Last Chance U. What was that at? In California?
Well, it's two of them. There was the one in Kansas.
Kansas is another one. Okay.
And there was one in Texas.
That's what I'm saying. You're not in these very nice places. You're in Mississippi. No offense to my Mississippians. Kansas. No offense to my Jayhawk folks. But come on, guys. You're in these rural places. And I'm telling you, the dudes that you got to go to school with, they are so close from being jailmates. Well, up until 2 days ago, the time that you spent in JUCO was calculated when you finally got back into the NCAA. Until now. The new law that just was made that your JUCO time will not count against your NCAA eligibility. What do you mean, Jess? Well, if I was in school and I got bad grades or I was locked up or whatever it may be, and I go to JUCO for 2 years, when someone wanted to sign me, one of these NCAA schools wanted to sign me, I still have 4 years of eligibility. I'm telling you now, in the words of, who was that, Marlo on The Wire, the price of the brick just went up. The price of the brick just went up. And you know who's going to have to pay the piper? High school seniors. Sorry. In the NIL era that we are in, if I'm a head coach, let's just use my alma mater. If I'm Bill Belichick and I'm trying to kickstart a program and I'm trying to get the best players on the field right now, because my window is closing fast. I got to win now before people start being mad at me and stop giving me this NIL money. And now I have to choose from a 3-star, maybe a 4-star player coming out of high school who's 17 years old, or I can go get the JUCO All-American who's been in JUCO for 2 years and is 22 years old or 21 years old, who's way more mature. And then now he can enter my program more mature, more physically ready to go and play the game of football. and I pay him. So those high school students who are 2 stars, 3 stars, y'all don't have time to be like, oh, I'm waiting for my top 5 number to come out. Because this new rule means I can take a 21-year-old, 22-year-old and have them for the next 4 years. It sucks because these high schoolers have been getting railroaded. The COVID years was killing guys. You know, coaches were getting extra years. Guys were still being eligible. So coaches were like, well, he got another year, so I ain't even trying to get seniors. And then the portal happened. When I was in school, if you entered the portal, you could not transfer. You could transfer from Division I team to Division I team, but you had to sit out a year. Or you could transfer down into Division II, Division III, NAIA, or whatever, and play right away. But again, those times have changed. So now the portal is wide open, and coaches are now saying, well, if I need a quarterback, if you ain't a 5-star, if I need a receiver, an offensive lineman, especially guys that play offensive lineman and defensive lineman, because it's all about strength and maturity in those areas. I'm not giving it to the high school student anymore. I'm giving it to the guy who's been in JUCO for 2 years, for 3 years. And now he comes and he's 23 years old, he's 22 years old, and I get 4 years with him. If I give him the right amount of money, he might stay 2 of those years. High school student is screwed. There's over 2,000 kids in the portal right now. It's only 127 Division I universities. So you're talking about now having to deal with JUCO, the transfer portal, and whatever high school students are coming out. I'm not the brightest bulb in the box, but college football, you, my friend, have a major problem. You have a major problem. You have opened up this Pandora box, and it has become the absolute wild, wild west. I don't know what you're going to be able to do in NCAA, but you've been dirty and cheating folks for so long, and now that it is turned, the shoe is on the other foot, it is insane. I mean, it is, I wouldn't even call it a business. This ain't even like a well-run business. It's not a well-run, there's no structure. There's no ceiling. There's no parameters. There are no contingencies. There's nothing in place that this has become insane. Which takes me to my next story. You want to talk about how it is the Wild Wild West and how the NCAA has a major problem. Because the NCAA was so dirty and so selfish and greedy for decades. For decades. Where all the money was going to the universities and to the front offices of these different schools. The NCAA, and my Wi-Fi just went kaploop. Don't worry, I'm going to get it back up. No, I'm going to get it back up. The NCAA they were running a show and they had no guidelines. It was do as I say, when I say it, how I say it. And for a long time, nobody pushed back. And then you had the Ed O'Bannon brothers, because this is what all this started at. The Ed O'Bannon brothers, because remember, you can go all the way back to Eric Dickerson, okay, with the Trans Am. That particular thing, because Eric Dickerson got the Trans Am and what they were doing to the Pony Express at SMU, and they set the death penalty on that program, which damn near sank that whole thing. So that's what I'm saying. The NCAA has been doing this for years and years and years of just dirty play after dirty play, keeping all of the profits for themselves and for their universities. Well, when the Ed O'Bannon brothers did this whole thing and things kind of found its way back to the top, the NIL thing got opened up. And that portal has been one that has been absolutely insane. And the thing that I'm talking about is the requests that these athletes are asking for. Now, the NIL, from high school, they're already asking for the bag in all sports. This ain't just a football thing. Football is the most because that's where all the revenue is generated from. I mean, you just had a kid, basketball player, who signed to BYU, talking about he's gonna make about $6-7 million for one season. Was it AJ Abuye, who went to Utah Prep, is now going to BYU? You're like, why is the number one player in the country going to BYU? BYU gave him that bag. Remember Blue Chips when Ricky Rowe said, man, just put the money in the bag, put it on the porch, and I want a tractor. Yeah. Remember Blue Chips? Blue Chips was ahead of his time. They brought Neon Badeau that Lexus. They got Butch McRae. Got his mama a house.